The world is now woven with threads of light, billions of voices chatter, shouting, whispering, most fade into the digital hum, lost in the endless scroll. We navigate this ocean of information, sometimes we feel adrift, searching for a signal, a connection, something real. Yet within this vastness, a single spark can ignite a firestorm of feeling. A simple truth can emerge, but then a sound breaks through, not a shout, more like a whisper. A few words typed by unknown fingers. These words begin to travel from screen to screen, from heart to heart. They carry a weight, a resonance. This was not a message from the powerful, nor from the famous. It all began in a place many of us know, or have heard about. Reddit, a vast digital city, with countless neighborhoods, each filled with discussion, debate, laughter, and sometimes surprising wisdom. It is a place of anonymity for many, where titles and status often fade away, leaving just the words, the ideas, the raw human expression. Millions of people gather there, sharing news, hobbies, and personal stories. It is a microcosm of our connected world. The author of this impactful comment was not a celebrity, not a politician. What were these words? What was it about them that made them stand out in a sea of noise? These words that managed to pierce the digital cacophony. They were not complex. They were not academic. They were not crafted by experts or polished by professionals. They were as simple as a conversation over a backyard fence, as familiar as a chat with a friend in a suburban backyard, as honest as a child's observation of the world, pure, unfiltered, and genuine. The comment, as it spread, was shared again and again. People copied it. They found solace in its simplicity, pasted it, translated it. It crossed borders and languages, resonating with people from different walks of life. It became a bridge, connecting strangers through shared understanding. Each share amplified its quiet power, its gentle assertion. It was a whisper that grew louder with every share. It was a balm to many, a source of comfort in turbulent times. The comment, in its essence, said this: America is not its loudest voices. It is not defined by the noise and chaos. It's not the anger you see on the news, not the divisive rhetoric that dominates the airwaves. It's the quiet hands that help a stranger up. The small acts of kindness that often go unnoticed. The tired eyes of a parent working 2 jobs that still dream for their children. The sacrifices made in silence. It's the shared meal between people who look different, talk different, or pray different, the unity found in diversity. That's the America I still see if I just look past all the shouting. These were the words, simple, yet profound. Yet they carried a universe of meaning for so many. They spoke to the heart of what it means to be human. Its core message was one of quiet resilience, of overlooked humanity. It reminded us of the strength found in everyday moments. It suggested that the true character of a nation isn't always found in its headlines. It's in the lives of its people, in their daily acts of courage and compassion. A torrent of hearts, the internet's emotional embrace. The moment those words hit the wider internet, something extraordinary happened. It was as if a dam had broken. Not a dam of anger, but of pent-up emotion, of quiet agreement, of relief. The reactions poured in. From every corner of the digital world, thousands upon thousands of comments, shares, likes, each one a small signal of recognition, a nod of understanding. People felt seen. They felt heard. Many responses were deeply personal. People shared their own stories, anecdotes of kindness they had witnessed or experienced firsthand. Why it touched us, the echo in our own souls. Why did this simple string of words resonate so powerfully, with so many different people, across so many digital platforms? What was its secret? There was no complex algorithm, no marketing campaign, just honest words. Perhaps its power lay in its perfect timing. We live in an age of information overload. Often that information is tinged with conflict, with anxiety, with a sense of things breaking apart. People were tired. The comment offered an alternative, a different story to tell ourselves, about ourselves. It didn't come from an authority figure, telling us how to think or feel. It came from someone just like us. Beyond the pixels, a shift in the real-world gaze. The impact of this comment did not remain confined to the digital realm. It leaped from screens, into kitchens, into classrooms, into workplaces. It transcended the boundaries of the virtual world, embedding itself into the fabric of our daily lives. Conversations that once revolved around mundane topics began to shift. People started to question, to reflect, and to engage in deeper dialogues. It became a topic of conversation, a seed for thought. In cafes and parks, friends and strangers alike found themselves discussing its implications. It was as if a new wave of awareness had washed over the community. People began to discuss it. They shared their perspectives, their hopes, and their concerns. It was no longer just a fleeting thought, but a significant part of their daily interactions, to ponder its meaning for their own lives, their own communities. It prompted introspection and a reevaluation of personal and collective values. People began to see the world through a different lens. It wasn't just a fleeting viral moment, it had a lasting impact. The conversations it sparked continued to resonate, influencing thoughts and actions long after the initial comment was made. It sparked a subtle yet meaningful shift in perspective for many. People began to look at their surroundings with fresh eyes, noticing things they had previously overlooked, a new lens through which to view their surroundings. This shift in perspective encouraged a more thoughtful and empathetic approach to everyday interactions. Did it magically solve America's problems? Of course not. Complex issues require more than just words to resolve. Words alone rarely possess such power, but they can be a catalyst for change, a starting point for meaningful action. But it did something important. It opened up a dialogue, created a space for new ideas to flourish. It changed the conversation, even if just a little. And sometimes that's all it takes to start a ripple effect. It encouraged people to look for the good, to find common ground and to work together towards a better future. The lasting echo, finding America in ourselves. So what do we learn from this? From a single comment, a comment that might seem insignificant at first glance, yet holds a mirror to our collective soul, penned by an unknown individual. Someone who, in that moment, chose to share a piece of their truth with the world, on a corner of the vast internet, a place where voices can easily get lost in the noise, yet sometimes they shine through. It showed us something remarkable about ourselves, about our capacity to connect, to understand, and to empathize, about the power of simple honesty. An honesty that cuts through pretense and reaches the core of our shared humanity. It demonstrated that truth, when spoken from the heart, has an incredible ability to resonate, to connect, to bridge gaps that we often think are insurmountable, to move people in profound ways that can change perspectives, alter paths, and inspire actions, even across the perceived divides of our modern world, divides of culture, of belief, of experience. It reminds us that kindness is a universal language, one that transcends barriers and speaks directly to the heart. When we see it described, when we witness it in action, it stirs something deep within us. When we hear stories of it, something within us responds. It inspires us, it gives us hope that in this vast, often overwhelming world, our actions matter. This digital age, for all its complexities and challenges, can also be a fertile ground. A ground where seeds of empathy and understanding can be sown. A place where genuine human connection can unexpectedly bloom. Where strangers can become friends and friends can become a community. Where empathy can be cultivated. Where acts of kindness can grow and spread, touching lives in ways we might never fully understand. Where a single voice, armed only with sincerity, can touch millions, and in doing so, remind us all of the enduring power of our shared humanity.